Hi, Cancer. All right. So let's get right into it. Let's see what comes up. Then I'll tell you a little about what's going on for your birthday. Happy early birthday. And depending on what comes up, a couple things I've been thinking about. So let's go really intuitive. Just go with what the cards say. Birthday reading. Last month was pretty spot on for you guys. So we're in the, we're in the groove. Today's been a very moody day. And I know Cancers have been kind of taking things out on themselves a little bit. Not exactly where you want to be. But the sun is going to come out. So don't worry. There's going to be a lot of, this chariot kind of energy for you. Just because you're going to have Mars in your sign, and that's just, if you watch the Gemini reading for last month, you can see like Mars in any sign just aggravates a little bit, makes you aggressive, and Cancers can be aggressive to begin with. So that happens in the first week. So whatever you're feeling right now, for the past, week or so, it's in anticipation of that. That's one of the hard things about being a prescient sign. It's so pretty out today. I mean, it's moody. It's really cloudy and then really sunny and then really cloudy. But it's gorgeous. A lot of interplay. So let's see. Cancers are hiding right now. So it makes sense that the cards are, deep breaths. Deep breaths. Let's see. Alright. Sometimes it's like this, Sometimes even when I'm doing readings, people will be like, is it normal that the cards aren't coming? I mean, until they're in the sequence that they need to be in, they just do that. So, Knight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, the World, Wheel of Fortune, and the Star. All right. Sorry, let me show you these cards while I shuffle for a few more. So to me, this is very representative of that Mars energy. And I also feel like you guys are kind of taking on that energy, that air sign Gemini kind of aggressive energy right now. Because there's a sense here to me of feeling very much like there's something you deserve. Something you've wanted, yes, but something, I'm sorry, I have ink on my hand. Something you've wanted, yes, but something also that you feel that you've really earned and that you deserve, but that somehow it's been stuck. This wheel hasn't been moving in the direction that you would like it to move in. And so this thing that you can, it's like I see the thing that I want and I'm so close, but I'm just a little bit to the left of it kind of feeling. And I can sense the frustration because it's like, yes, I kind of have all the pieces, but, for some reason it's not fitting together. And now it seems like the pieces fit together, which is what I was saying about the shuffle as well. Until the cards come up in the sequence that they need to be in, they won't come out. The sequence is the whole thing. Sure, each card means something, but it's the sequence that really defines the card, right? There are cards that are really good cards, but depending on what they come up next to, they can be a really bad card. Like this here, that doesn't make sense. Maybe if you just look at the textbook definition of these cards, that this would imply frustration, but it does. Because there's all this completion, right? And this like sense of like, I want the completion. I'm really interested in it, aggressively even at this point. I want this thing and I feel like I've earned it. And it should all be right here for me, but it's not. I mean, because this is saying that now it's coming, so that implies that right now it's not. And so this completing of this cycle that you've been waiting for so long, look at all the circles. I think now, okay, maybe it doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. Maybe this cycle doesn't get completed the way you exactly had it in your mind. But that's okay. Because what that did for you ultimately was you're already internal. You're already in touch with how you feel and why you feel it. But this is a different kind of solitude. This is a different kind of internal. You know, the Virgo card is about, it's about being internal, but with a very specific purpose, right? It's to attain, you guys are internal just because you are, it's your nature. The Virgo nature is to be internal, to really learn, to break through, right? So let's get the obvious stuff out of the way and then we'll get back into that. If you're dealing with an air sign and they're being super aggressive, or if you're dealing with an earth sign who's feeling very entitled, okay? Or if you're dealing with a partner right now who seems to you to have the world, and yet they can't put these pieces together the right way to have you as well. This frustration, this like, you know, come on, wheel, turn, damn it. It's now starting to happen. And that's good, you know. Mars coming into your sign on the 5th, so like right in that first week, that'll definitely give this wheel the energy it needs to move. It's here. You know, Mars is a soldier. And then, after all that busy kind of, you know, loving that the wheel is starting to turn, once you get it moving, okay, right? You get it moving, Mars comes into your house comes into your sign on the 5th, all this energy, you get it moving, you get the circle, 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 you get it moving, you get the wheel moving, good. By the time Venus comes into your 11th, you have to decide something now. You have to decide once this wheel starts to spin, are you going to be the center of the storm here? Are you going to be the center of the storm? Or are you going to be the storm? Right now, you can't be dual. Right now, you got to pick a direction. Because if you want to be the storm right now, you're just going to keep yourself locked in this frustrating triangulation going on here. But if you can find it in yourself to jumpstart this process, right? And then become the still point in the center of it, you will be able to process this whole year that's gone by and get ready for your new year, right? And how do you do this? How do you get this wheel moving? You have this Mars energy coming in, but what does it mean? How do I direct that fuel into getting this moving? You have to move on your instinct. That Jason Bourne thing. You got to move on your instinct. You know, when something is in your subconscious, that's what they did to them, right? That's what they did to Jason Bourne. They like broke down their subconscious and put stuff in there. So those like trained people, they don't think, they just do. That's how you guys are with your subconscious. You're totally keyed in, right? You totally feel it. You totally know it. The way you get this wheel moving is you move on that knowing. You move on that instinct. You know, Practical terms. If you don't feel like taking the train because it's just too late, you don't have a good feeling, don't take the train. You know? If you feel like somebody's moving funny and you just hit, then that person is definitely moving funny. Like, you know, if this person is moving funny, you know, if this person is being really aggressive, like, you know, Cancers are very sensitive. Like, if someone is being really aggressive with you, if someone is being, you know, just funny with you, just like, right now is the time where you decide, are you going to be the storm or are you going to be the still point? If you want to get wrapped up in this pettiness, you can be the storm, but you're not going to move forward. If you can be the still point, right? Get it moving on instinct and then be the still point. By the time the full moon comes in, you're just, your energy's so good that things just start to work out. You know, that irritating thing that's like bugging you with work, that'll start to work out. But there's one thing that's required of you here, along with, you know, moving on your instinct to get this wheel moving. You can get it moving, you can get it going, moving on instinct. But how do you, I'm like, how long is it going to take? All right. Okay. It's, I mean, listen, just relax. It's not that bad. Let me move this closer. All right. So, and maybe here so you can see the cards better. Yes. All right. Maybe there. Good. Okay. Now, you get it moving. You get it going, you get this wheel turning in your favor on instinct, but the way you keep it moving, the way you sustain this fuel, you know, you gotta speak up for what you want. Like, let me put it to you this way. I was in a secondhand store today, and I was looking at this tea set. And I thought I really wanted it, but I was like, okay, thank you. I asked her a bunch of questions about it, whatever, and then I walked away from it. It was like bone china. It was gorgeous. And then I walked up to something else. It was just a little piece of glass. And I told her, I was like, okay, I'll just come back. I'm going to look around and I'll come back. But that thing, as soon as I saw it, I just grabbed it and I started walking around with it. And it occurred to me, you know, some things we think we want, we say we want, but we don't actually exhibit the behavior of really wanting that thing. And other things, our behavior gives us away that we really, really want that thing. I think it's time for you now, if you really want that thing, that you've got to, the way you keep it moving is you got to speak. This is not, Cancer, one of those times when you can hide. You know, because right now, you really can, like, you got 2 outcome cards. You really can go in any direction. You can have the fruition, the completion. This is a card of completion, right? We know that. He's getting done with his artwork. They're very happy with the piece they had commissioned. There's a sense of completion on both sides of this. And there's a sense of completion within, you know, weren't we talking about this triangulation, right? There's a sense of completion to the triangle as well. Perfectly balanced, right? One of the divine shapes. Power, a well-oiled machine, fruition, completion. Completion, completion. How many circles now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the inside of the flower. 8. Quite some, right? Oh, and a bunch here. The concentric circles. So now let's deal with this. Yeah, it's here, so we have to deal with it. If you're dealing with an earth sign, there is somebody better. But this person, their energy is so dominant that it's very hard for this other person to get through. And that person would really like to invest in you, you know? But you're just different with that person than you are with this. This is the person that you want. This is the person you really want. This is the person you want this completion with. You know, and if it's like an earth sign, it doesn't have to be an earth sign. This, the reason this is also associated with an earth sign is because there is a stability to this person, but not really. This person only cares about himself, right? This person only cares about her value, also herself, right? There are other things to be valued and loved, but not above oneself. That's just now not how earth signs think. It's not practical to not have a self-preservation instinct. And you, dear Cancer, although you are the damnedest of survivors and you can survive pretty much anything, you often find yourself surviving in a state that's pretty close to just, squeaking through. It can go this way now because it is in those moments where we're presented with all the right things we need to get what we really want that we can easily, fold under pressure. And Mars does exert pressure, right? That Aries energy, it does exert pressure. You know how pushy an Aries can be, especially to a Cancer sensibility. Okay? So there's that. And it seems like a little bit of a bleak, outcome, but not really, because Cancers love having a choice. You guys don't like to feel like you're being made to do something, right? And you do have a choice. There is a great sense of completion here in terms of work situations easing up, money. Three of Pentacles is, after all, a money card. But this Ten of Swords, this card is a great card, but once a wheel picks up momentum, it can kind of it can come off its hinges. It can, you run the risk. You run the risk of bolting in the wrong direction. Getting overwhelmed with all this energy and bolting in the wrong direction. And what I would suggest is that you be cognizant of the Aries energy, of the Mars energy, and just pull back here and there when you start to feel yourself, go, that place that Cancers can go to where everything starts to ratchet up real quick, and all of a sudden you're from here to here. Like that wave of emotion that takes you along that wave somewhere, just remember there's a lot of planets pushing me up this wave right now. I need to keep my head, because it is a very important time of year for you. How you come into your birthday month or into your birthday season, yourself is really important, where you are at in your head. And so you don't want to get to the end of June and then decide which way this wheel is going to turn for you. You want to be all the way ready for that by the time it happens, right? And moving on your instinct, speaking up when you need to, especially about stuff that's work or money related that you've been trying to hide, or where you've been trying to just be nice and be the helpful. You guys will do the helpful, quiet thing until it's too much and then you blow up and it goes wrong. So what I'm saying is meet yourself in the middle somewhere and start to speak up, because I think if you do, you'll have a lot of success with it this month. Let's see, aside from that, with Mercury and the Sun coming into your sign, there will be a kind of sadness if you don't get to talk to the people you want to talk to. But I think it's also a time where you're going to realize that you need to find some new people to talk to. I think overall you're going to realize whoever doesn't fit this now. I think by the end of your birthday season, you'll have a pretty good idea of whether this is a job or a person or whatever. You'll have a pretty good idea of which way it's going to go. Hey, either way, you'll know. That's something, you know, like, I'm always like 2 to 3 weeks early with everything. So like, I already found out. And like, yeah, it kind of sucked, but I was like, okay. You know, like, you'll be fine. Like, I do attribute that to my Cancer rising and to my Virgo moon, that I was able to be like, yeah, cool. Well, now I know. You know, and you guys will have those moments. You'll have them about work. You'll have them about your friends. You'll have them about your significant other or the person that you're interested in. You'll have those like aha moments, but they're very practical moments where you'll be like, all right, now I got to change my behavior, or now I got to do this, or all right, bet, like, and have those realizations and keep checking those boxes and keep moving forward and processing. So by the time you get to your birthday and you've got the Mercury and Sun, and then 2 days later, the moon coming into your sign, like, you are supercharged, okay? You are supercharged right from the beginning of the month, and then when you feel like you can't be any more supercharged, then you're going to get even more supercharged, and you're going to want to talk about it. You're going to want to communicate it. So what I would say is, get in front of that wave, you know? You're going to want to be creative. Set that up. What are you going to want to do at the end of the month? You want to write? You want to paint? You want to finish a short story? What do you want to do? You want to finish your website? Whatever it is. Okay, do that, right? In the middle of the month, set up however you're going to do it. So by the time that your birthday comes around, you're just like in it, and you can make some sort of birthday art or birthday, you know, whatever, because you'll need that as part of your completion. You know what I mean? Like, it'll help you make sense of what happened and then move forward into your new year. And it'll also be a way to channel this energy so you don't end up hiding, but then inside your shell running in circles because, you know, like I said, the storm can either be on the outside of your shell or it can be on the inside this month. You have to decide. You're either going to be safe and sound in your shell and watching all these amazing things happen for you and be like, yay, I'm so glad I'm in here where I can see it all, but I'm safe. Or you're going to have a raging storm in your shell. You're going to be the storm. And with all this planetary energy and all these circles and this huge choice, what looks like, you know, you've got to err on the side of positivity this season. You have to. You got to pull yourself out of it and just determine to go into your birthday feeling good. Because if you do, it will set off a chain reaction, you know, but do it now, do it early. So you can just build that, be like, bitch, this is my birthday month. You know what I mean? Who cares? Right? Like, Geminis are so easy. They'll be like, fine, whatever. You know, it's fine. Yes? Good. I love you guys. So, what else is going on? My Oakland dates are set. It's going to be the first 3 Thursdays in October. And I'll put the info, you can buy tickets online. I'll put the info below. It's cool. We do like, people come and then we sit there and I answer questions and I do on the spot readings and I do like energetic healings and stuff. It's super cool. It's fun too. Like, it's not like stuffy at all. You know, it's super cool. You can come in late. Like, I don't care. What else? I am still, people have been asking about the book again. I am still working on the book. It's going to be out in the spring. However, there is an added element to it where I am also creating a deck to go with the first book. So the first book will focus on using tarot for inner work. And the next one will focus on using tarot for love readings and money readings and so on and so forth. So for the first book, for the inner work, what I decided was that the corresponding tarot deck would be of a certain aesthetic and would be geared towards using the cards to, you know, using the archetypes and the motifs that come up through Jung and Freud and just, you know, throughout time, through mythology, and using those to really tap into and kind of be able to psychoanalyze yourself, right? So the deck will be geared towards that. So that will be, you can buy the book by itself, or you can buy it with the deck, or, you know, whatever. So that will also be in the spring. And yes, it is very exciting. What else? Oh, every time Cynthia sends me a mall, I don't know what it is. Like, I know these things work. So I'm like, I don't know why I'm surprised when I wear them. And then all of a sudden I feel better. And I'm like, whoa, it worked again. And I'm like, wait, but I knew it was going to work, but still it's shocking to me. So after last month's videos, Cynthia reached out to me and she was like, you know, you've got some like pretty persistent energetic strings, you know, that are, you know, fairly obvious to me. She's very clued in, very clued in. I wasn't feeling well and was actually feeling very wounded, and my like spirit animal, or the animal that's just always around me and shows up around me no matter where I go, is a crow, and it's always around. And I felt very, very wounded by the experience that I had, and a wounded crow showed up at her door, you know, and she had just done an energetic healing for me, a remote healing for me, a week prior to that. So like our connection is just crazy, right? So I don't even know why I'm surprised, but she'd reached out to me after the May videos and said, you know, like, it's pretty clear that there are some persistent hooks in you, and I think you need some protection. And I was like, oh wow, you know, because the carnelian I felt was so protective, but I understand it's a different kind of protection, right? You can feel it in the stone. So she was like, no, there's like this other kind that I want. And she sent me this, and I don't remember what the name of it is, but she also sent me these 2 bracelets that are both stone. And as soon as I put these on, I'd been having this kind of like persistent anxiety on this side of my body, and I couldn't really put my finger on what it was, but you know, it makes sense with what she told me about how the different things that she could see coming off of me, you know, when she was doing the healing. And then this, which is like, this is nuts, man. Like, the second I put it on, I was just like, yeah, you know, like, just, it gave me, I don't know, strength. Like, yeah, it's very, I immediately felt like, you know, because I had been feeling really drained by just the energies around me. And it was like a kind of like a veil went up around me, you know, immediately I could feel it. I was like, wow. And that's when I had that moment where I was like, man, this really works. So I'll put Cynthia's information below as well. And thank you so much, Cynthia. Like, I didn't even ask for that healing. I didn't even know, you know, that was like something that we could do. And it helped me so much. Like, and I'm sorry to talk about it because I don't know if that's something that she offers as a service. That's just something that she did for me. So I don't know, but I will link her information below and you can get in touch with her. But like I told you in some previous videos, if you would like to work with her, she does everything by hand and it's all imbued with energy. So it takes a while, you know, and if that's okay, and if you understand that it's a process and not a product, then great. You know, then I would definitely advise. I mean, after the crow, I was like, okay, you know, we connected, girl. So there's that. Also, I'll leave my email below and my Instagram and my Snap. You can always get in touch with me at one of those, right? And I am doing readings over the phone and over Skype while I'm here, but I'm also thinking that perhaps I should start doing more recorded readings and not so much in person, because it's just been really hectic and the in-person readings require a level of energy that I am not always able to, you know, produce at the given moment. And so there's been a few hiccups here and there, unfortunately. So I'm thinking maybe I should shift the way I do the personal readings, but I'm not sure yet. For now, I'm still doing the one-on-ones. So, but that may change very soon. But in the meantime, I'm doing Skype readings and, you know, FaceTime audio, video readings. You can email me and I'll give you more information about that. And I will be doing in-person readings in New York all of August and September. And in San Francisco all of October, except for the last week, and then in LA for the last week of October and the first 2 weeks of November. Okay, so if you would like a reading at any one of those times, I do have slots open still. A lot of people that booked time at that time booked me for an earlier time, so and I'm just going to be like doing like private flyouts a couple of times, which I won't be doing like other readings at those times. So I do have slots open, so good. That is it. That was a lot of technical stuff. I'm sorry. But I love you guys, and I don't want you to worry. I know that this can be a very, like,